Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy Pup. We are back for the finals of the PPDL Season 1. I am super excited, but I can't lose another little cup finals. We lost in the PCPL when we were over there, and I just can't let it happen again, especially in my own league. Man, we're playing against Bio, who's 4-4, but made a crazy run in the playoffs. They just beat Cart, who was undefeated going into last week. So I know they have an insane team. We did play them in the regular season. We beat them. So did all of the other top 4 teams beat Bio. They ended up being the 5 seed. So, I mean, no wonder they're still really good. Obviously, they're a very good battler and just have had a lot of really good games. And they have a really scary team, kind of modeled off of what I had in my last Little Cup league. So we'll go right over that. They have a core of Timber plus Hisuian Voltorb. Both those Pokemon are just great. Hisuian Voltorb just got banned from Little Cup a couple months ago. It has great electric and grass stab, really not being weak to anything. And then it also has just a crazy 20 base speed, which you need a Scarfer to outrun. Luckily, most of my team can achieve that with my good speed tiers. If I, put a Choice Scarf on that, it's just the Little Cup draft. That's just how it is with the speed tiers, which is really nice. But it is a very scary Pokemon, especially if they do use one of their Eviolites on it. It's really hard for me to revenge kill. That Timber that I talked about earlier is also a huge threat. It is pretty slow, but it's very bulky when you put an Eviolite on it. It clicks Drain Punch, gets all of its HP back, so you can't really do much damage to it unless you're hitting it with a really strong, super effective attack. And then it has Mach Punch to pick off my weakened threats, or just, get a lot of chip. And it does a ton with Iron Fist boosted on both of those moves. I figure that they're going to use that because they've been running Iron Fist Timber for basically the entire season, or at least trying to run that. I know they misgened it before, but it's still a very good Pokemon that I have to worry about. Next up on the worrying list is that Clauncher, probably the Pokemon I'm most worried about in this matchup, if I'm going to be completely honest. It's just a menace versus me. I assume they're going to be Terra Water or Terra Electric. Terra Water is really strong to throw off the Mega Launcher boosted water pulses. They actually just clean through my team besides Finneon, who is immune, which is really nice. But if they choose to go Terra Electric, then they can hit stuff like my Delibird, stuff like my Finneon, Piplup that could be coming this week. So it, puts me in a little bit of a tough spot. I have to play very aggressive around that. I do think they're going to bring Choice Scarf. I think they brought Choice Scarf last time. I'm not 100% confident that they did, but it looks great into my team to be able to outspeed those top threats and just destroy them in one shot with Terra Blast Electric. Next up on their team, they have what? Let's go over the Drillbur. Drillbur is really scary. I mean, it's a rapid spinner, but I'm not really that worried with hazards this week. It's just a really strong Pokemon in general, though. Clicking Earthquake versus my team is really hard for me to switch into. Obviously, I do have a Delibird, but if they click one rock move, or if they set up Stealth Rocks with that Pokemon, my Delibird's basically gone at that point, so it's really hard for me to switch in. I'll go over Snubble, crazy Pokemon in this format, something that we definitely got to move up in the tiers for next season, which is coming soon. But Intimidate Pokemon, so makes my Delibird a little bit more useless. A couple other Pokemon on my team, really tough for me to deal with that. And it's got stuff like T-Wave, it's got a strong physical attack, and it's really just hard for me to kill. Of course, I do have a Poison and a Steel type, which is really nice. Not too many teams had a Steel type or a Poison type, and we have both to be able to deal with that Snubble, so it shouldn't be that huge of a threat. But I really have to be careful in how I play around that, just because it can be a really annoying threat. They have a lot of other stuff on their team. I think the other Pokemon that they're going to bring on their squad is probably either Pikipek or Salandit. Both those Pokemon are really solid. Pikipek is a skilling Pokemon, has the speed to outrun most of my team and just click moves versus me. I mean, it's just really hard for me to switch into that guy. Obviously, seems very frail. And if I do have Choice Scarfers of my own, I can outspeed them, be in a good spot. Delibird also naturally outspeeds it and does a ton of damage with its Ice Stab. So maybe that Pokemon doesn't come, maybe it does, we'll see. But Salandit also definitely could make an appearance here. Speed ties with my Delibird if they do run max investment. And the Flamethrower is actually really strong versus my team. It's hard for me to switch into the combination of their dual stabs. But it is incredibly frail, dies to one ground move. Luckily, we do have Drill Run on Delibird, so we can easily run that. And is not the best into a couple of my more offensive water types if I do bring that, as they can always eat any one hit and just destroy Salandit in a single attack. But I could definitely see it coming. They do have Shuppet, they do have Sandygast, and they do have Magikarp left. I don't think any of those come to this game. Like, if anything, Sandygast potentially could make an appearance, but being weak to Delibird really makes it tough for a lot of those Pokemon on their team to justify coming to this game. But let's go over what I'm bringing to this finals match. So first off, we're going to start off with Delibird. I mean, I have to bring him. He's my Little Cup Uber, even though he's really just like a ZU Pokemon. Still, like, I mean, he's solid in Little Cup, not the best, but it's been great for me this season, even with the Hustle ban. This Pokemon has the speed to outrun most of their team with a jolly nature. Only things we're getting outrun by are Voltorb, and then we're speed tying with Magikarp and Salandit. They do end up bringing either of those Pokemon. But we do have Ice Shard, which should be able to hit the Hisuian Voltorb very, very hard, since it is super effective with that Life Orb boost. If they are not rocking the Eviolite or much defense investment at all, we do have a shot to one-shot it. And if I just get like 1 or 2 points of damage of chip on it with like a U-turn or a flip turn with my other Pokemon, maybe a fake out in the back, then I should be able to knock it out with Ice Shard, be in a great spot. But Ice Spinner is there too. Really don't want to miss Triple Axle, and I'm not clicking it that much in this game. Maybe against Drillbur and Pikipek, and maybe Sandygast, I guess, which should all die to one shot anyways. Our more reliable stab is going to be Drill Peck in this game because it hits everything on their team for at least neutral damage unless they are Terra Electric Clauncher, which should never try to switch into me ever at all. But I think Drill Peck plus Ice Shard might be enough to take them out anyways if they're like that Choice Scarf variant that I do expect. We also have Drill Run on the squad just to be able to hit the Salandit, knock it out from full. Also hits the Terra Electric Clauncher if they are not Choice Scarfed or if we have that knocked off in the end game. This Pokemon is going to be really good. Really nice to just have that really strong priority in the back, something that I haven't used very often, so I'm hoping it'll catch them off guard a little bit. Next up on the squad is my next fastest Pokemon, which is Finneon, but is really going to be the fastest thing in the matchup here with the Choice Scarf, trying to be able to outrun the Voltorb, obviously, but make sure that I outrun a Choice Scarf Clauncher, because that's what I expect to come to this game. It is my first switch into Clauncher, which means if they're Terra Electric, it puts me in a really tough spot, because if they click Terra Blast into me, you know, I'm probably just going to die. I do have the defense investment to make it a roll. It's 75% chance for them to be able to knock me off. But if we get that 25% of the chance, we can get a nice strong U-turn or flip turn off, depending on what Terra type they are. And we can, you know, get a decent amount of damage, maybe put it into Ice Shard range eventually with Delibird, which will be pretty nice, especially if they're like Terra Grass and we click U-turn into them. But we have Waterfall and Bounce as our other stabs. Bounce is great to hit stuff like Timber. I mean, it's virtually unresisted through their team besides that Terra, just why I said Drill Peck is good on Delibird. And Waterfall is solid too. We can get flinches if we really need it, and they don't have the best switch-ins unless they're going hard, something like Hisui Voltorb, which really doesn't want to take a U-turn or a Bounce. Just a lot of attack on this Pokemon. We do hit a 16 speed tier, which is fine since they don't have anything there. I don't really mind speed tying, or I don't really want to speed tie with like a Choice Scarf Pikipek or a Rapid Spin boosted Drillbur or anything like that, so I don't mind the extra attack on there. Just to make sure we get some extra chip on that Clauncher. That's really the only reason we're here. Next up is our Terra Captain Zhengmo. We are a Terra Poison set, which is really fun with the Clear Amulet to get past Intimidate on Snubble. This Pokemon absolutely just destroys Snubble. If they want to click Thunder Wave in my face, I can substitute up on them and then get a Dragon Dance. Terra Blast should be able to one-shot them, especially with one boost. And if they're not Eviolite, I think it just knocks them out in general. We also have the Stab Dragon Claw, which is solid versus the rest of their team, as, you know, that's the only fairy, and it's very, very weak to that poison. We have Bulletproof, just in case they want to throw off some moves like Bullet Seed we eat from Pikipek. We eat stuff like Shadow Ball from the Shuppet. Maybe a couple other things, Energy Ball from the Voltorb, which is pretty solid. But mostly we're here for that Snubble. Really good opportunity to show off a Clear Amulet set. Just put us in a decent position by, you know, getting a free kill or two early on in the game. And I'm hoping that can, you know, maybe even snowball if they don't have too many fast Choice Scarfers. But we don't have the speed to be able to compete with a timid Scarf Clauncher, which is a little bit unfortunate. We're not weak to like Electric, Water, any of those like stabs that I expect for them to bring. But, you know, we don't have an Eviolite, so it's going to be really hard to take any one attack from that. So we'll see what happens in the game. They also might have an extra Choice Scarfer from one of those faster tiers that will be able to outrun me after one Dragon Dance. In the fourth spot on our team is going to be Tinkating. Has come to virtually every game this season and has been awesome. It's very good in this matchup, being able to just basically spam play rough versus their team. Their only resist is the Salandit, which does resist it 4 times, but we have Stone Edge for that. We also have very free knockoffs versus their team, trying to get rid of the choice scarfs that I expect are gonna be really annoying for us, or a couple Eviolites on their squad, which can be really strong versus me. We also have the Eviolite of our own. Make sure we can eat any one hit. I think we even have a chance to eat Flamethrower from Salandit, which is really nice. But stuff like the Clauncher, the Voltorb, we can always eat one hit and be able to, really just respond with a nice knockoff or play rough versus those guys. We have a lot of speed investment to make sure we outrun Clauncher once they do not have a choice scarf, if they are that. But we should also always outrun Timber, even if they're very speedy, which is really nice to be able to punish that thing with a play rough. Own Tempo is here to make us immune to Snubble's Intimidate. Also makes us immune to Confusion, which I guess could play a role if we're taking a hit from Clauncher, with that Water Pulse having, 20% chance to confuse me. Really don't want to get hacked out in this battle at all. It's happened to me a lot recently if you guys have been watching any battles on the channel, and it's definitely not going to happen with my Tinkatank set here. Next up on the squad is Ekans, rocking the choice scarf this week, which is really solid to be able to outrun their entire squad, barring their choice scarfers. But it does outgo the Clauncher, which is really good for us. Well, actually, I don't have any speed investment on this Pokemon, so not really. But we should be able to eat a hit from the Clauncher since we do have a lot of special defense investment. Should be able to eat a hit from the Hisuian Voltorb. We also should be able to eat, decent amount of hits from the Snubble and the Timber, even if they do have some coverage for us, as we do have the Intimidate ability. That's very good. But they don't have any good switch into Gunk Shot. Obviously, they do have Salandit, but once we get that chip down, we have Tink and Ekans that are really gonna force that thing to try to switch in. We also have Earthquake on this Pokemon, which means if they're not Air Balloon, we should be able to just destroy them with that. Obviously not the freest click into their team if they do have a Picky Peck on their squad, but I do expect it to only be one of Salandit or Picky Peck in this game. We also do have Switcheroo in case we need it in this game to make Timber a little bit weaker, lock it into like a bulk up if they're going for something like that. We have T-Spikes on the squad to if they don't have the Salandit, really weaken their team, make it more of a longer game. I feel like we have the tools to do that if we really want to. We have a good amount of bulk on our team, surrounded by a lot of offense, of course, but getting stuff into range of like Delibird, Ice Shard is going to be imperative in this end game. I feel like it's going to be really strong if we're ever able to get those up if we don't see Salandit in this matchup. So I could just lead it straight off the bat. But Gunk Shot, just looks very, very solid versus their team. They just don't switch in at all. And I think Ekans is going to do really good work here, especially if we're just able to get some free hits off on their team. And then finally, last but not least, we do have Makuhita. Not a Pokemon that I've brought that many times this season, but is very good in this matchup. This can cover a potential like Terra Fire Clauncher. I do think that that's an option to try to hit my Tink and my Delibird. Talked a lot about Terra Electric. I do eat hits decently well with a max Def, but with a thick fat ability, we really eat stuff like that Terra Blast Fire or Ice Beam if they're trying to click those moves versus my team. With a little bit of speed, trying to speed creep a couple things on their squad, trying to speed creep that Snubble, especially if we're going to be able to get a knockoff plus Poison Jam on it. We can just knock it out easily early in the game, which is really nice. But we have Fake Out support, which can help put stuff into range for Delibird later in the game. Can also help, stall out some turns if we end up getting Toxic Spikes up with our Ekans. But just a really solid Pokemon in general. We can basically spam knockoff versus their team as they don't have a great switch in, besides potentially that Snubble, who we might be able to just OHKO with a Poison Jab afterwards, and we do have decent answers too on our team. So yeah, once that Pokemon's out of the way, we just knock off their entire squad. Once we get rid of all their Choice Scarfs, once we get rid of all their Eviolites, once we get rid of Oran Berries, Focus Sashes, whatever else they want to bring, I'm feeling really confident about my abilities to win this endgame. So hopefully we're going to be able to, play it right towards my game plan. And I'm really nervous going into this battle. It's a finals. I really don't want to lose it again. And it's my own league, I have had a great season. 7-1 plus 22 is crazy. Only one loss to getting crit by a Totodile, which is crazy, but a little bit of a humbling experience. Got to play a little bit less risky, just play to my strengths, play to my outs, don't make any stupid mistakes, and I think we'll be okay, even though Bio is a really great battler. But I really hope you guys do enjoy. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. If you guys are interested in season 2, please be sure to join the link in the description. And there's a lot more Little Cup draft content coming on the channel pretty soon. That's about it for me. See ya in the battle. Yo, what is going on, everyone? We are here with finals of the PPDL against Bio. Man, this is a very, very scary team. They did bring a lot of the stuff that was scary. They did bring basically the top 6. Yeah, they just straight up brought the top 6. I'm most worried about the Clauncher, low-key, but I know Timber is a huge threat to my team. I think Tink runs through them if I'm able to, get some chip going on their side. Really annoyed to see Salandit because it stops my Tink decently well. If they end up being faster, which they should, I think they are naturally. And they soak up the T-spikes for my Ekans. So you hate to see that. That's really what I'm worried about here in this moment. I think Makuhita is a solid lead, being able to click fake out versus everything on their team. Only thing it leads poorly into is the Snubble, which I don't think we see off lead. And even if we do, I can choose to just get damage on them. But I'm gonna lead with a Makuhita here. I'm really worried about that Terra Clauncher. It's very, very scary versus my team. Drillbur can be a setup threat. They can be Toxic Spikes on their own. Salandit. I know, super scary, but good luck, have fun to Bio. And let's hope that we can do it. So basically, the plan for this Clauncher is that I hope that they are not Terra Electric. I'm curious if they're a Terra Electric Terra Blast into my Finneon. It's a chance that it just straight up knocks me out. As they lead with Salandit, that's interesting. Salandit, their Air Balloon. Okay. That's very interesting. It really is. I mean, I just get a free fake out here, which should do a good chunk of damage to this Pokemon. Yeah, I think we just freely click fake out. As they are fake out of their own. I did not know that that thing got fake out. That's pretty funny. I mean, they can probably hit me pretty hard, but I'm super Spadef on this Pokemon. I can honestly get a huge chunk of damage off on them with knockoff, or if anything they want to switch into, I'll do a ton of damage to it. So yeah, I think we might see Snubble come out here. Yeah, we see Snubble, so we're gonna get rid of the potential EVLite on this Pokemon. It's what I'm expecting at least. And we shouldn't do very much after Intimidate. We get that knock. Ooh, that's actually more than I expected. Big crit. Big crit. No, Eviolite is crazy good for us. We don't have to worry about that, but Play Rough is incredibly free into my team. So is Psychic Fangs if they want to click that. And Psychic Fangs would really be tough for Ekans. But I could go out to Ekans and set up a T-Spike. Or even just click Gunk Shot. I mean, Gunk Shot's so free versus them. I feel like they want to click Psychic Fangs, though. Man. I don't want to sack this thing, but I also don't want to sack my Ekans to the Psychic Fangs. Because it will one-shot my Ekans. Will it one-shot Makuhita? It will not. I mean, Ekans is such a free swap here. I kind of want to just click Poison Jab. Maybe an over-prediction, but I'm going to go for it. We're faster. We're just straight up faster. We do a lot of damage to that Pokemon as they Earthquake. Okay, so it makes sense as well. They do 9 damage with Earthquake to me. Let me calc that. Earthquake. I mean, I obviously knocked them out with this hit here. I mean, they can tell that. I'm pretty sure. Earthquake, that did 9. So they're like, they have a decent amount of attack investment. I mean, I feel like I can freely go for Poison Jab. Worst case scenario, I'm either killing this Pokemon or I'm breaking the, well, I guess if they get the, their speed, so I am speed invested. If they're no investment, I guess we do always outrun them. It could be a tie. I'm gonna go for the jab though, as they do withdraw. I think they're gonna give us the Air Balloon here, which would make my, oh no, they're gonna go Drillbur, which is fine. They're gonna take some damage. We get to see the damage. Drillbur, Mold Breaker. Makes sense. We're at -1, and that did nothing. That did... it's not Eviolite. I'm pretty sure we can say that for sure. Earthquake from this thing does knock me out, unfortunately. I'm really worried about them being, like... I don't know, if they want to Stealth Rock here or something. I think I'm just going to Drain Punch to them. kind of sack it off, but their rapid spin here is really scary for me. I think Drain Punch is my play that I have to go for. Yeah, they're just gonna rapid spin and get 6 damage off on me. It's a lot of damage for a rapid spin, if I'm gonna be honest. So either they're well, no, it just looks like they're adamant, I think. Right? Max attack adamant is really where that comes into play. They're plus on speed, so it doesn't matter, but I knocked them out with Ice Shard, which is huge. I do really want to save this Pokemon, keep my Eviolite in the back, but if I go Delibird on a rock move, it's a terrible spot for me. Because then I don't have a great way to revenge kill it. I mean, potentially Finneon is a roll, or is a speed tie versus Adamant. Oh man, do I need Makihita around? I definitely do not need it. It's very good still. I really want to go Delibird. I so want to go Delibird. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make the Delibird play. I think that they're going to go for Earthquake here because I very much threaten them. We're going to go hard out to the bird. They Earthquake. Huge. That is huge for me. That's huge. And we're just clicking Ice Shard versus this thing. They may think they outrun me. I also could have been Choice Scarfed. So they may choose to scout for that. But nope, we're just going to get a knockout with Ice Shard here. That is awesome. Huge. I haven't brought Ice Shard all season. Wow. This is a just great start for me. I love this. They're going to go out to the Clauncher, which is the biggest threat to my team. Now, is this thing Choice Scarfed? By the way that they're bringing it out, it totally could be. Totally could be Choice Scarfed. And I have to see what the Terra is. If they're Terra Electric into Finneon, it's probably just going to straight up knock me out. All right. I kind of want to go Jangmo since I'm going to resist the hip. I don't need it to do what I need it to do before. Jangmo is still very good. It does destroy their team if I'm able to get a DD up. This thing is so Choice Scarfed. I'm going to make the hard Finneon play. I'm just going to make the hard play. Clauncher. This thing could be Terra Water Scarf. It doesn't have to be Terra Electric. I really hope that they're Terra Water. What's it going to be? It's Terra Electric. Okay, that's tough. I think they brought that versus me before. Terra Blast. Yeah, this is a roll to knock me out, depending on their spread. Come on, give me the roll, give me the roll. And now. Okay, so they're at least max attack. I think that they're Choice Scarfed. I think that they're Choice Scarfed. Choice Scarf Modest. Terra Blast is what I'm expecting. Even with Modest, that was a chance for me to live. I mean, Makihita should always live Modest. So I'm going to go out to my Makihita here. I'm just going to click Drain Punch. I think it's free. Obviously, I could go for the Fake Out here, which would be a solid play. If they end up swapping to Snubble. Snubble's pure fairy. I'm not going to do anything. Maybe I just straight up Poison Jab. No, I'm going to Drain Punch here. If they go to Snubble, that's fine. But I wanted to do a lot of damage if they stayed in, and I'll do more damage and get more health back no matter what. As they go Salandis, we're going to break the balloon, which is huge. Breaking the balloon is huge. Also, Ekans clicking Scarfed Earthquake looks insane in this game right now. Ekans goes absolutely nutty. Wait a minute. Yeah, that air balloon pops. Salandit, I don't know exactly what they want to do. I mean, obviously fake me out. But I'm super Eviolite. They can't do that much to me. Drain Punch did a good chunk. I also could have hard swap at this point. Go something hard like Jangmo. Could be really fun, and then go for Dragon Dance. I honestly really like that play. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go for it. All right, let's see. I'm hoping we see Fake Out here. No, they're gonna Sludge Wave. That's gonna do a ton. Yeah, that does so much. I mean, I'm gonna Terra. I could choose to Dragon Dance here. I don't know. If they swap out, it could win me the game, though. I will go for it. Yeah, they do withdraw. I mean, I'm going to get my Terra off. I'm going to be +1/+1. Snubble cannot get the drop on me because I'm Clear Amulet. And we're Terra Poison. I mean, this is a great spot to be in. Clear Amulet coming in huge here. So glad that they swapped. I mean, they didn't know my Terra. I could have easily been Terra Steel. But, wow. We're +1/+1. Is Jangmo gonna do it? I don't know if I'm fast enough for Scarf Clauncher. Clauncher? If they're modest, it's a speed tie since I'm adamant. I mean, I just have to go for Terra Blast here and take this Pokemon out of the picture for sure. So now Snubble cannot threaten me out ever. I mean, I wasn't threatened by Intimidate on my my whatchamacallit, my Tink anyways. My Delibird, maybe, yeah. It's the Clauncher. Voltorb comes out. Okay. Voltorb, Hisui. Is this thing Choice Scarfed? Because if not, they just straight up die. I'm sure this thing is Choice Scarfed by the way they're bringing it out, right? Yes, they are. That is good to know. They get a big crit, does not matter. So good prep on their part there. Man, I wish I could have got 2 DDs up. So they're Scarfed on that, Scarf on the Clauncher. I'm like 99% sure. Oh man. If they were not Scarfed on that thing, I would have been such a good spot. Salandit comes out. I mean, I can go Delibird if I really want to. Delibird versus the Salandit. I mean, I very much threaten them. Drill Run easily knocks them out. Drill Peck is honestly solid too. And they can get some damage on me with Fake Out. But Fake Out doesn't do that much. It's like 3-4 damage. I'll go out to it here. I will go out to it for sure. Drill Peck is a 100% KO. So I'm going to go for it. If they go for the Fake Out, that's fine. Get some damage, but they don't have a switch in afterwards. I guess if they went hard Clauncher, that would be very scary. And we saw the Eviolite Pokemon was the Snubble. What else? It wasn't the Drillbur based on my calcs. It's the Timber, which makes a lot of sense. Yep, the Fake Out. It's going to do some damage. Not very much. And I just get a free Drill Peck here. Destroys every single Pokemon on their team. Unless they go out into the Clauncher. There's no way they go out to Clauncher here. They go Timber. They go hard Timber. Wait a minute. The Timber is going to take too much. That thing lives on 1. They live on 1 and I get the Ice Shard off here. That's huge. No way. Yep. Timber goes down. That's a huge threat out of the way. All right. An Electrode, Hisui, or Voltorb. If that thing comes out, obviously they are not Eviolited. As we saw, they're Scarfed. So Ice Shard is a roll to knock them out. Most likely doesn't. So what do I switch into this Clauncher here? I mean, obviously Choice Scarfed. Has to be. Because I just threaten them so much with Drill Run right here, if they're not. Ice Shard does 50, which can be great in the end game. I'm going to go Makahita here, and we're going to get a fake out on them. Also, if I get the fake out damage on the Voltorb in the late game, then that puts it in Ice Shard range. They're gonna Water Pulse. I think we eat it. Yeah, we do. Huge. Okay. I mean, we just fake out. If they swap, they swap. Now they're gonna let me get damage. Does just about nothing. That did less than I expected. I guess that makes sense though, if they have any sort of HP investment at all. Yeah, we're just gonna Drain Punch here. And then next turn, I go out to my Tink and I click Knock. I think getting the Scarf off of this thing is important. Does Ekans just outrun it though? Ekans does. I could go straight out to Ekans, click Earthquake, but I think it's a riskier play than going Tink and knocking. Because when we go Tink here, we don't take very much. Water Pulse. I mean, they're obviously max Spatak. I mean, they can do a decent chunk, but this definitely puts them into range and knocks off the Choice Scarf. If they want to switch out to the Salandit, it goes down. If they want to switch out to the Electrode, no Scarf on that thing. Which the Scarf on that thing is not the biggest deal. They Water Pulse. We just get our knock. That's huge. That's what I needed. That is what I needed right there. We don't die to another one. I think I just click Play Rough here. This is such an interesting endgame. We win this. I guess it wasn't a speed tie. Guess that makes sense. We always outrun them, even if they're timid. So we get rid of that Pokemon. Don't have to worry about it. Delibird might be able to sweep. I don't know. They go out to Salandit. I mean, I have Stone Edge for this reason. I'm assuming you're outrunning me here. If you're max speed, you definitely are. How much does Flamethrower do? If you have special attack investment, it knocks me out every time. I guess I think I go for the Stone Edge. It's just a better play. They're gonna Flamethrower knock me out. I think I just go Ekans and I Earthquake away. We go Ekans. This thing does not have its air balloon anymore. I broke that earlier with a Drain Punch. I just click Earthquake versus this Pokemon. They're gonna withdraw. I really like that, actually. It gives me the damage. They're in Ice Shard range. Right? They should always be in Ice Shard range. And that does 50%. That's huge. I mean, I just have to click Earthquake again. They're going to T-Bolt. Does this even knock me out? No, it doesn't. I just get the Earthquake. I think Ekans is going to just straight up sweep. Do we die to Fake Out from Salandit? Fake Out. How much does it do? It does 3 or 4 damage if they have no investment. If they crit me, it does 5 damage min. I mean, I just click Earthquake here. And they're not even going to click it. They don't know that we're Scarfed. I mean, I guess they did. Or maybe they didn't. But I click Earthquake and I win the PPDL Season 1. Beating Bio 2-0. Great finals game. Oh my goodness. This has been such a good season. I love winning the draft league. After we lost in finals in the whatever Little Cup league we played in last time. So nice to make my own league and then win. But that's not the end. We are rebranding to Little Pup Draft League. Maybe I'll put the logo on the screen. If you guys feel like joining the Discord, you guys can catch up with what's going on over there. We're starting Season 2 at the beginning of March, which is going to be super fun. I'm really excited. I want to keep up the Little Cup content on the channel. If you guys do enjoy, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. That's another chip for your boy. I love it. Hope you guys enjoy. See you in the next one. Peace. All right, guys, it's Pup. This is what, about a week after we played this game. I'm just really relieved to have, finally won this title. I've had a couple other titles on the channel, but this one, it does mean something a little bit different. The GWA one back at the beginning, that was really, really solid. Played very well there, but this one, it was really here for me. I really wanted this, and I'm glad we got it done, especially a really busy time in my life. I'm just very happy that I'm still able to prove to myself that I can compete with everyone out here. And I hope that you guys are happy with the title too. If you guys have been sticking with the channel, it's been tough. SPDA run, going to the finals, barely losing to stupid Sylveon. It's just been it's been a fun run. But we have season 2 coming up pretty soon. I'm hoping to be able to defend my title decently well there. We have a ton of great coaches, and you guys will see it pretty soon. We already started drafting, so that stuff should be out maybe like 2 weeks from now. You guys will see what we're doing. More like Little Cup with Little Cup Ubers and ZU Pokemon sort of stuff. And I'm hoping to, establish my league as sort of the premier Little Cup draft league. We'll see if that actually happens. We have a lot of fun stuff in store for the future. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, join the Discord that's linked in the description if you guys are really interested in a lot of the other Little Cup stuff. I'm also putting out some Little Cup guides because I really want some more people to get into it. I feel like it's a great format, something that's really fun to try to break it up before we get to Legends EA and whatever Pokemon Champions that they announced. That was today by the time I'm recording this. Yeah, I'm really excited. Hope you guys are too. It's gonna be about it for me. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.